Good evening. I'm going to do a September 1st video of my garden. Actually, I guess it would be like the last of August. I don't know when you'll see it, actually. I think you'll see it almost the end of August. Anyway, here we are, and I'm sort of calling this, I guess, like a no-see-em video. When we had friends once in Missouri, and when we visited them, we got introduced to no-see-ems, and those are chiggers. And those little bugs, after I visited them, I think I fought with them for 6 months. They just kept finding new little places. Oh, yeah, and I think they were chiggers. But anyway, it itched. I hope this isn't an itchy video, but I hope it's a no-see-em. It's at the end of the evening, and I'm more frazzled than I was at the beginning of the morning. But first of all, I'm going to show you, we took out, this used to have the barrel and my sage and whatnot. But over here, once I planted this little sweet bee balm. I've never seen it bloom yet, and I'm just thankful it's still alive. And bee balm is an herb that it's called a nervine. That means a nervine can either stimulate you like coffee, or it can calm you like chamomile. Well, this is a calming one. But it also, and you can make it into teas, and it would be a nice relaxing tea. But also you could use it as a replacement in any food that you're cooking that uses oregano or thyme. So you could put it on your pizza. You could put it in your meat dishes. You could put it in your tomato sauce. It's that kind of an herb. Then you could make honey out of it. Now, I did it once, and I used a lot of the blossoms, and I infused it with honey. And I really didn't like it because I didn't strain the blossoms out. And so it always sort of... Anyway, I want to try it again with taking the blossoms out after I infuse the honey in it. You can do it in vinegars, and make salad dressings. And I wonder it's just... And then, I don't know if you can even realize it, but the feverfew is gone. We took it out. And now I can see my rosemary. Oh, that smells good. Oh, wow. Oh, it was very unhealthy with the feverfew. And it probably should be moved away from the lavender. The lavender is going to stay a while longer. The one Dusty Miller is out, but this one was blooming again, and I want to wait until the bloom is maybe a few more weeks. And we have high hopes for this bed. In fact, it's getting higher. I'll show you on the other side. So don't forget, some of you have bee balm in your yard for herbs, some have it for bees pollinating, and some of you have it just because it's nice to have and nice to watch it blossom. But if you don't have it, consider planting it, using it for a nice relaxing tea, or in your cooking. Now, we're raising this bed. And when everything is gone, we're going to put dirt in and raise it. So we only have 9 so far. And to do this, we're taking apart another bed that's in another area. And I think we'll have enough to go all the way around and raise it up. And the reason we're doing this is because this bed, my tomato bed, this bed over here that has my parsley in it. Oh, and then I have some purslane, and I know a lot of you consider it a weed, but it's also a food, and that can go in salads. Oh, it's a dead one. Good. There it is. Wow, they're sort of pretty, aren't they? But they're destructive. Anyway, this one is a higher bed. This one is a higher bed. And so the higher beds are going to be like my real annual vegetable beds. But these other beds, the 3 beds back here, are going to be like perennial beds. They're going to stay where the size they are, not get raised. And I've been thinking I'm going to try to get some blueberries and put in this one. I'm not going to take the lavender out, so I think I can only get 2 to 3 bushes of blueberries, maybe only 2. And next year, nothing gets planted in here except my strawberries. And so far, I've never had a strawberry reach the house because I eat them when I see them. And I ate one last night, but I think there's no more right now. And then this bed over here, more asparagus. The comfrey will stay at that end. And there's artichoke in this bed that will stay, an artichoke over here that will stay. But I'll get new asparagus for in here. So that's my plans for next year. And this is the September garden now, and it's getting sort of weary and worn out. I know the end will come, but not for a while yet. And right in here, it always reminds me of one of those gates that you had to open and close, because each time between the lavender and the squash, you have to sort of push back and forth. So, and then the last thing I'll tell you is my big green pineapple sage. And the reason I read why it's not blooming, it's not time yet. We got another month. It might not start till October, actually. But usually they start in September, and they're called a hummingbird highway. And it's not because my ground is rich. Probably my ground isn't as good as I wish it was, or think it is. Anyway, you can make tea out of this also. You just don't use it like a sage, but it would make tea. And the blossoms are sort of fruity flavor, and they put them in fruit salads and things like that, or drinks. You could make a nice, maybe even put them in your kombucha. But okay, and so that's it on my garden. I'm not going to show you, but I saw that I have a few little beans starting to come up. And so I'm just going to tell you good night. And you know what? I'm not sure. I wasn't looking at the camera, so I'm not sure what I pointed to. I hope this turns out. Good night, and I'll see you mañana.